Hello, everyone. Hello. Let me turn up my mic a little bit. Hope you guys are having a great evening. Happy Friday to everyone. My husband and I just got home from having dinner, so I made it on time. Woohoo! Yeah, so it's been a crazy few days. How are you guys? How's everyone doing? What's going on? I feel much more up to doing sprints today. Hello, Hillary, welcome in. I am much more up to doing sprints today compared to how I was Wednesday. Wednesday, I was not in the right headspace at all. I was extremely grumpy from my day. And today I have had a really good day. I'm a little bit lower energy right now just because I just ate, so I'm very sleepy. Um, but for the first time in 3 weeks, I think I'm actually going to pick up a book, which is exciting for me. So I'm still working through The Will of the Many, and I'm also still working through Aragon. I think I'm going to pick up The Will of the Many today, and I'm mostly going to be sitting back here on my futon because I want to just sit and relax. But um, yeah, it's just today was a really good day. If you follow me on TikTok, you'll see I posted a couple videos today on TikTok of some unboxings that I did for Stray Kids albums. And in the first one, I talked about how today I had one of my um, licensing tests for like my teaching license thing. I had to take a second one because I took the first one back in November for my main certification for my teaching license, and I passed it. And then I had to take another one because I was told that since the beginning of the year there was an additional um basically bureaucratic hoop to jump through. And so I had to take another one. So I took that other one today. I took the day off of work to go take that today, and I passed. So I'm very happy. I am done with it. I have one less thing on my checklist for the rest of my student teaching, and all I have left is I have to finish up my standards I have to complete by the end of the school year, which I will be able to do. And then I have an observation on the 8th. So that's it. And then once that's done, I can get my license. And at that point, it's just looking for a job. So I've already put in my application for a couple jobs in the district I'm working in currently that are very promising positions. So yeah, we're doing great over here. After I went and did my test, I was going to go to a bubble tea shop, but it wasn't open until noon. So I went over to the local Barnes and Noble and sat and did some work there, and I did all my work done. I got myself a couple books as a reward for passing my test. And I also ended up getting an album, which my first TikTok video today was unboxing. And then when I got home, after getting my bubble tea and stuff, I ended up getting a package that was my two albums that I had ordered that I was really excited about. So thank you, Hillary. Thank you very much. I am very happy to have finally gotten through that. It's one less thing to do. So today is going to be just kind of a veg night and just do whatever seems applicable to me, I guess. But anyway, for those of you that are joining in for the very first time, hello, my name is Gabby. I go by the moniker of the Curious Owl. I dual stream on Twitch and YouTube, usually on Wednesday nights at 5 p.m. EST and on Fridays at 8 p.m. EST. And we do cozy productivity, reading, co-working sprints, whatever you'd like to call them. We do 4 main sprints that are 50 minutes each with a 10-minute cooldown. So you can get a lot of work in. If you're over on Twitch, you have access to the super sweet task bot. There's commands listed down in the little about section that tells you how to do it. If you have questions, though, please feel free to ask me. If you are over on YouTube, unfortunately, you do not have access to this. But what I would like for you to do is, if you are comfortable with it and you are wanting to be held accountable for what you're doing today, list in the chat what you are working on. What are you reading? What are you working on today? What do you plan to get done this evening? Personally, I think I'm just going to focus on reading tonight and trying to get through some more of The Will of the Many. I'm currently on page 358 of this one. I haven't made any progress in the last 3 weeks because, to be quite honest, I have found April to be a month that is one of my worst mental health months. Um, I'm still trying to piece together and understand why that is, but I know it has something to do with my bipolar disorder. And I'm starting to learn that I'm not the only one that tends to struggle in the month of April with bipolar disorder. So I am trying to figure out what it is about the season and what it is about this time that like really messes me up. I know that October tends to be one of my other months that I really struggle with because I tend to get sick a lot during that month. And also with it getting darker and the nights getting really long and dark, a lot of times that really plays into my mindset. I do think that sometimes the weather does have an effect on my overall mood. So, like with April in Michigan, with it being still kind of cold at some days and some days it being really rainy, like it has been the last, like today, it's been very rainy. That didn't put a damper on my mood really at all, though, because I've had other things to like boost up my mood. But when it gets like really cold in April, that tends to be kind of a day where I don't feel as great. So we're still like figuring out like what's going on. I also had therapy today, so I talked a little bit about it with my therapist, and we basically came to the conclusion that it could be anything, it could be nothing. Like we don't really know. So um yeah, but anyway, hope you guys are doing great. I'm otherwise doing pretty okay. I had a bit of a crazy week with work this week because with it being so nice in Michigan the last few days, like we're talking like over 70 degrees the last 3 days, or at least, everybody's feeling it. All of my students are feeling it. They are getting extremely antsy for the end of the school year and the things that come with the end of the school year, like field trips and things like that. So it's been a time. It's been a time. But yeah. So, otherwise, I think that things are going pretty okay. I feel like I was talking about this with my husband, over dinner, where I was like, looking at how I was beginning of the school year and thinking about at that time what I would be like when it came to this point in the school year, I am so much more confident in my teaching than I think I thought I was going to be. Like if I think back to what I thought about for this time of the year when I was first teaching, I had no idea how confident I was going to be with my teaching. So I consider that a huge success with this school year, and I feel like I have so much more clarity in terms of like what I need to do, what I need to improve on. So I'm really happy. I'm overall very, very happy with how things have gone this school year for me, despite any setbacks that I might have had. So we're doing great. But okay, that's enough yapping from me for right now. I'm going to go ahead and get us started on our first sprint. Like I said, we do 50-minute pomos with a 10-minute cooldown. So I'm going to go curl up on the futon back here, and I'm going to sit and read some of The Will of the Many, and I will check in with you guys after the first pomo. So happy reading, happy productivity, whatever it is that you are doing, and I will see you guys in 50 minutes. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, Glenda. Glad you could make it in. Working through 2 books, The Townsend Family Recipe for Disaster by Shauna Robinson, and The Reading List by Sarah Anisha Adams. Hillary took a vacation day today, had an awesome time, went to the gym, got nails done, and then went on a walk with friends and their dog. Very nice. Made it to 30% in Kings of the Wild. Nice job. I read about 26 pages of The Will of the Many. I'm now on page 384. I don't know. This book is hard for me to get into, honestly. I'm like, gosh, how far am I into it? I'm probably like halfway through it, and I'm honestly about ready to give up on it. Like, I just don't care anymore. I don't. And I know this was like a really well-beloved fantasy book for a lot of people. I just don't think I'm into it. I struggled from the beginning, and I got to a point that it seemed really interesting, but now I don't really seem to care anymore, which is kind of why I stopped reading it too. So I think I'm going to DNF The Will of the Many. And that's kind of sad, but it is what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and update my reading journal spreadsheet that I have. If I can... This is not my first DNF of the year. There's no way. There's no way this is my first DNF. I will be genuinely shocked if that's the case. Okay. And then I just want to move this here. There we go. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. I think the idea is really interesting. The execution is not there for me. And mainly, I feel like it's the world building. I feel that the world building is really confusing. It's not supposed to hold your hand through it, right? It's a book where you're not supposed to be handheld through it. I need a little bit of that. I need a little bit of hand holding. I'm not as smart as some of these authors think I am. And so I feel like that this is one of those books where it's a little highbrow for me, I guess is how I'll put it. I have to think way too hard about how all of this works. The action scenes are really good. I like the idea of it being an academic setting and that there's a trials situation and there's like hidden identities or secret identities, things like that. But quite honestly, I'm bored. I'm bored. So we're done. We're done with it. I gave it a fair enough shot. I walked away from it for a few weeks and got through another 26 pages, and it's not for me, unfortunately. Loving Kings of the Wild, it's pretty funny. I'm already loving these grumpy and quirky middle-aged men going on an adventure together. I've heard that's really good. I have the first book on Kindle, and I've heard that's really, really good. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. My friend Jess, I think, was one of the first people who introduced me to that book, and she really, really liked it. And for the fact that it's about a bunch of grumpy middle-aged men. So, all right, oh, here's the dust jacket. Dougie chewed up the physical copy, but it had the dust jacket off of it. So I'll figure out what to do with this one. I don't know. It's going away. I know that much, but I think I'll just sell it at my local independent bookstore. So, all right, that's on the DNF pile, on the to go away pile. So I, though, am enjoying my time with reading Eragon. I was really enjoying my time reading this. So I just need to mark real quick how much I got through for my reading journal. So I'm in Eragon on page 574. and I'm very nearly done with it. Like, I have less than 200 pages left of this. I had the audiobook for the longest time, but I think my hold on it, I think my copy expired. Like, oh, maybe not. No, I still have it for 2 more weeks. Sweet. Works for me. Hunting for Answers. Is that the one I'm on? No, I am on the next chapter. Okay, so I'm about 78% of the way through the book according to the audiobook. I don't really feel like crocheting, so I think I will try to listen to the audiobook in the next sprint and go take my meds and do my skincare routine. And then we'll go from there. Because I don't really feel like crocheting right at the moment, and I'm so far behind on my blanket because I've not been reading for the last few weeks, and so I haven't really been updating my blanket. So I have like 20, probably 20 plus rows to do on that blanket, which is going to take me a while. So I'm definitely not looking forward to doing that right now. So we'll do that another time. But yeah, so other than that, not much is going on. I'll show you guys the books I got as a reward for myself today. This was kind of a random buy because I didn't really know what I wanted to get. There was nothing really out that I really had, that I didn't already have, that I wanted to get. So I stumbled upon this in my Barnes & Noble. They had a table set out because I guess one of these books is a new release. They're by the same author, but they're different books, and they're both like mystery thrillers of some kind. But I got Butter, and Hooked by Asako Yuzuki. Butter was their first one. Hooked is their newest release. This one is about what it says is like it's about a woman who like is a cook and she gets involved in this like murder mystery that's going on. It's apparently an unsettling exploration of misogyny, obsession, romance, and the transgressive pleasures of food in Japan. And then Hooked is supposedly more about obsession. So I don't know. They sounded interesting, and I was like, okay, I feel like I've heard about Butter before, but I don't know by who. But I was intrigued because it says a novel of food and murder, and this one is a novel of obsession. I don't know. We'll see how I like them. But those are the 2 books I got today for myself as a gift, well, as a reward for passing my test today. So, yeah, I have so many other books slated for the rest of this month that I'm definitely not going to get through. Yeah, it's just been not a great reading month, which is unfortunate because there was Aurelium, there was Battle of the Bookish this week. It's not been a good time. It's not been a good time for me for reading. I've been really, the biggest thing is I've really been prioritizing more so taking care of myself mentally and not pushing myself to do things that I just don't want to do just for the sake of doing it. Like, reading was one of those things where the last few weeks it's been like I would have to force myself to do it just to be able to say that I read that day, and I just couldn't do it. And I feel like that was actually more beneficial to me because I feel that if I had pushed myself to read just for the sake of reading, I would have very quickly lost complete interest in reading in general. And that goes for many of my other hobbies. I feel like that just stopping completely for a while to reset my brain a little bit and give myself that space to just veg and exist, and be alive at least, a little bit, just made it so that I didn't feel resentful for the hobbies that I do enjoy having when I'm in a good mood. So, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of how things have been the last little bit. So, okay, so we've got our next sprint coming up. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go downstairs, take my meds, and do my skincare routine while I listen to Aragon. And then kind of go from there. So we'll do our next 50-minute sprint. I am starting to get sleepy, and usually after about 9:30, I start getting really tired to go to bed. So, and here we go. So we might stop after the next sprint. I'm not sure. We'll see how it goes. But for now, let's go ahead and get into this next sprint. So I will see you guys on the other side of 50. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, I am exhausted. I did get through 40 pages of Aragon during that time. Um, yeah, also took my meds, washed my face, all that good stuff. And so now my body is like, it's time for bed. You should have been in bed half an hour ago. Why are we not in bed? Because typically what happens is I take my meds about 8 o'clock, and then I am able to stay awake for like an hour and a half before my meds start to kick in. So already by 9:30, my body was like, yeah, it's time for bed. This is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be in bed by now. So now everything's catching up. So yeah. Made it to 33% and started getting ready for bed. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go head off to bed. I am so tired. I have had a very big, happy day, and I am just, my energies, we're done. We're done for the day. Everything's great. Everything's fine. Am I a little manic? Yes, I am. What can I do about it? Right now, I need to go to bed. That'll probably help. I don't really, and it's weird because I know a lot of people when they deal with things like mania, they like can't sleep. I can't do that. The only time I ever have really bad insomnia is when I don't take my magnesium glycinate at night and I get like sharp pains in my legs, like worse than like restless leg syndrome. Like it hurts. So that's when I usually, if I forget to take my magnesium, I'll have insomnia. And or if it's the first day of my cycle, I will have really bad insomnia. But I've never had insomnia because of mania. So I don't even want to know what that's like, because when I go manic, it's bad. I don't want to know how I would be when I am sleep deprived as well. That would not be good. That would not be very good. So I'm gonna go hit the hay, get some sleep. I'm happy that I made some reading progress today. Even if I ended up DNFing a book, I'm happy that I made some progress in it before I finally decided to give up on it. And you know what? I tried. I gave it my best shot. I got through like half of the book before finally deciding to just DNF it. And on the bright side, I'm getting back into a book that I really enjoy. So there's that. But I hope you guys had a great Friday night. Or if you are already in Saturday, I hope that you have a great Saturday. I am going to go to bed. So thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I will be hopefully streaming again on Wednesday, 5 p.m. EST. Provided nothing crazy happens in the next couple of days and my mood is better. Actually, no, that is not true. I forgot. I have an appointment on Wednesday. So if we do sprints Wednesday, it will very likely be later in the day if I do them at all. I totally forgot. I just remembered I have an eyebrow appointment. I have an eyebrow wax appointment, and this place the esthetician I go see is also helping me with my redness in my skin. So it's going to be a longer appointment, so I'm probably not going to be back by 5. We'll see. We'll see what happens on Wednesday. Everyone in the Discord will know what's going on. So if we stream, we stream. If we don't, we don't. And otherwise, I'll see you guys next Friday. So anyway, good night, everyone. Have a great night. I will see you guys later. Bye.